Hello everyone, I'm here in Mindanao in Bukidnon, and today's video is all about what it takes to tell a good story in the agriculture space. My name is Robert, I'm a content creator, and my passion is to help you become content creators. First, let me show you a bit of my trip to Bukidnon. So, I flew here from Manila via Philippine Airlines. So, my destination is in Laguindingan Airport, which is the first international airport in northern Mindanao. It serves the cities of Cagayan de Oro, Iligan, and Marawi. So, it was an hour and a half of flight coming from Manila. So we reached Laguindingan Airport around 10 a.m. So this airport, it sits on a 4.17 square kilometer site in Barangay Muog, Laguindingan. It is 46 kilometers from Cagayan de Oro and roughly 57 kilometers from Iligan. So this airport opened up in the 15th of June 2013. And I heard it replaced the Lumbia Airport in Cagayan de Oro and another one in Iligan City. So apparently, as of this year, Laguindingan was the 6th busiest airport in the Philippines, with an estimate of 2 million passengers passing through it. I got my bag in a jiffy, and I'm supposed to meet my driver. I got his number, but I don't have a local line, so I'm just gonna try to figure it out as I get out of this place. Yeah, I have an idea what the car looks like, so I'm just gonna wing it. This airport reminds me of Cebu, the old domestic airport in Cebu. I used to always go to Cebu and visit friends there. But I could very well say this is more organized than Naiya, definitely. I don't enjoy going to Naiya, to be honest. So I found a driver, and according to him, this is gonna be an hour and a half, 2 hours of drive going to the farm where I'm gonna be staying for the next few days. So as we are inching our way out of the airport, this is my first time in Cagayan de Oro City. It started to rain when we were exiting Cagayan de Oro and traveling towards Bukidnon. The real thing happened when we started going through these roads in the mountainside. As you would notice, it's all soil, so part of the roads are being built, and yes, that's how that's the roughly the 3-hour trip going to this place. And one of the highlights of my visit to Bukidnon is in passing by Cafe Bukid, which I will be showing you in a bit. We're gonna try Cafe sa Bukid. Let's check it out inside. Dayon Kao. So this means take off your shoes. Let's check it out here, what they have here. We're gonna have our coffee upstairs. So So let's go upstairs. No Wi-Fi. So in my 2 days here in Bukidnon, I've already tried their coffee. It's really nice. And I think this place is perfect when you've been driving for a while now. Because I haven't seen any cafe along the way. We're on the road for almost 3 hours now. So I don't have any idea where we're going. So I'm just gonna capture it as we go. So you get to see this view. Behind the cafe. Look at that. Like, what are the chances of having coffee with this view? Awesome, right? It's amazing. This is scary. Let's try to go here. I don't know if it's safe standing here. But there's no better view like this when you're having coffee. So while waiting for the coffee, I'm just enjoying the view. So I'm just waiting for my coffee, enjoying the music, and sending photos to my friends. And just, that's what I usually do when I go to a place like this. I send the photos to my friends so they get to enjoy it as well. So it's time to try their coffee. So this is their coffee. So I ordered caramel. Time to try this. It's good. Masarap. So what does it take to tell a good story in the agriculture space? First and foremost, we keep telling about storytelling in different modes of execution, in the marketing space, in the tech space, in the academic space. But right now, since we are here in this specific place, in a farm somewhere here in Bukidnon, I'm gonna discuss briefly on what it takes to tell an effective story in the agriculture space. So it's different from daily news. It's different from the usual approach, but the principles applied to in creating an effective story in the agriculture space is practically the same, because storytelling transmits emotions, knowledge, and outcomes. The agriculture space have so much opportunity to tap into telling stories of different people doing different things, making an impact in the environment, making an impact in the society. So this is something that's close to my heart, and this is something that I look forward to doing for years to come. But what does it take? First, you need to understand your audience. Your audience here, it depends if you're talking to a farmer, to an investor, but like any other story, you have to understand your audience in figuring out what they already know about the subject. So if you want to convey an effective story, start from that. Figure out where your audience is coming from. Do they share the same ideas? Do they see the problem in the same way that you are seeing it? Because once you were able to determine that phase in your storytelling, then you're up for a good start. And then next, what's the purpose of telling your story? Do you want people to laugh? Do you want people to do something? Do you want people to be inspired? Do you want people to take part in an activity that involves, change? Figure out what the purpose of your story is and connect it to how you deliver it to your audience. That's another important thing that you should remember. But the actual change in telling a story is in finding the right story, a story that you can relate to, a story that you can creatively execute in a unique way that's personal to you and that is fit to a specific audience. And unlike any other story in the corporate space, next is you need to feel your story. So as a storyteller, for you to be effective in telling this story, is that you need to feel that you're part of it, that you're part of what's happening, that you're part of the change that is coming, and that your time and effort is invested in a specific space. So if you don't get to feel your story well, your story won't come across as authentic, and you would probably have problems in seeing the results and accomplishing a specific goal for your story. Next thing is you need to identify, who are the people that are the key players in that specific story, and you need to map it out. Where did it start, what's happening right now, and where everyone is looking at in the future and how it will end. Should it end with something that's positive in terms of the environment, or should it end with something that's positive in terms of the mindset of the people involved in your story? So once you get to feel it, once you get to identify the right players, the right characters, and then you're able to map it, you're now ready to develop your story. So developing the story, this is where your specific skill set in producing content comes. So as you're able to successfully map out your story, you're able to put it in proper sequence, on how things have transpired and how events have transpired. You are able to make a cohesive flow of whatever it is you're trying to tell. Let's say if you're talking about the struggles of a specific farmer and how a specific group of people was able to help provide resources so that this farmer would not struggle anymore. That's something that should be properly put in a sequence that is readily accessible and can communicate and can tap into the emotion of your viewer. So all in all, the idea is that storytelling is mostly emotional. So if you're aiming for sympathy, you need a feel-good character in your story. And if you need to show that people can make a difference and you need more people to be part of this group of people that wants to make a difference, then it has to be motivational, it has to be inspiring. But what you need to remember when telling stories in the agricultural space, it's all about change. What is your role in this specific change as a storyteller? What is that specific change that everyone wants to achieve, and how everyone would go together, the storyteller and the audience and all the key players, how are they gonna go together to create that change, to make that change and to result in an impact that changes the lives of others. I hope you learned something from this short video, and if this is something that's valuable to you, please subscribe and share this video to your friends. And yes, I hope to see you on my next video.